Hey everyone, welcome to the Dare to Care podcast, the podcast where we talk about the inner workings of ministry at Inspire Family Fellowship and community stories within and around the church. If you have any comments, stories, or questions about Inspire or our Dare to Care ministries at any point during our podcast today, feel free to send those questions to me at ty@inspirefamily.org, or I suppose Amy at inspirefamily.org as well. We also invite you to join us in person at Inspire any Sunday or Wednesday that you're able, 523 North 21st Street, Bismarck, North Dakota. Our Sunday services are at 9:15 and 10:45, and we do have a Wednesday service coming up this Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. But like I said, my name's Ty Farnsworth. I'm the worship coordinator here at Inspire Family Fellowship, joined today by our Dare to Care and women's coordinator, Amy Langang. And for the first time in the intro, I've always kind of tried to bounce back and forth between community stories within and around the church. And today, and I'm going to do my best to get this right, BisMan Mentor Squad.
That's right.
We have Deanna Larson, the program director. So Thank you for joining us today. We're really happy to have you and excited to hear the story of you and the program. And
yes, thanks for having me. This is our first podcast too, so first for all of us.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, we're excited that you're here with us.
Yes.
Now, Mentor Squad, when we hear that, it's something that we maybe haven't heard before.
Yes.
So tell us how Mentor Squad has changed, because it's actually been around for a long time.
Right.
So yes, tell us, did you just get a new name, or has the dynamics of your organization changed? So what is Mentor Squad? What did it used to be called, and has it changed?
Sure. So we've been in the community since the 70s, providing mentoring guidance to youth. So it's always been Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Bismarck, Mandan, and we were affiliated with the national organization for a long time until 2018. They decided to focus on larger communities. They wanted us to have twice the amount of matches. We usually operate with around 50 matches, mentee-mentor matches, meaning littles and bigs.
Okay.
And we were not able to meet that requirement as far as twice our budget. They wanted a $200,000 budget. We operate in about a $100,000 budget. So we felt like our program was still necessary and good enough to keep going on its own. So we changed the name, and we are under the program of Dakota Foundation, which helps people with mental illness and substance abuse. And so it was a good fit, and they were able to take us under their wing.
Good.
And it was great to keep
going.
going.
It's a really great program. So what kind of impact, just tell us a little bit about Mentor Squad, and what kind of impact does it have in our community?
Sure.
What is Mentor Squad?
So
what do you do?
So we match people up. Mentees and mentors get matched up we ask for a year commitment from the volunteers, the community-based volunteers. The guideline is to get together for 4 hours a month, which just is not a lot of time. So you can do more than that, but that's kind of the minimum guideline to get people interested in it. It's not about having special skills or special abilities. It's just doing the things you already know how to do and can teach a kid, kind of give them some of your life experience and do things together. And so we focus on things like improve confidence, improve grades, and improve behaviors, and we have a system in place to track those kinds of things.
Do you have ages of kids that can be involved?
Yes, so 6 to 16 is the age we match, and we can match a child at 16 and then follow them till they're 21 if they still want to be in the program. Like I have one match now that will celebrate 10 years in November, and she is almost 21, but she still feels like she needs the help and support, and we're happy to provide that.
Very cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you talk a lot about the matching.
Yes.
Tell us how that works. Is it you've got a lot of adults and a lot of kids involved, and to find the correct interest. How do you go about that?
Yeah, so you interview both the child and the parent or the guardian, whoever is raising the child. Lots of interview questions just to get a real sense of who they are and what their temperament is like, what their interests, what they're looking for out of the relationship. You want to have kind of the same goal, and same with the volunteers. You do the same thing. You interview and talk about interest, schedules, and I just kind of feel like after a while I kind of have a sense of who might be a good fit or who wouldn't be a good fit. You kind of sleep on it and ask for a little guidance from above to make the right relationship.
And if it doesn't necessarily, if they don't necessarily,
that happens. Yeah, if they don't necessarily jive, I always tell people, please don't give up. We can try again. There's lots of kids and families that need our help, so we can always, and most people are pretty good about that. Or we had a situation last month where the family just disappeared. I couldn't reach them through email or phone or anything. And so I'm not sure what happened to them, wish them well, and move on to the next family.
So if I wanted to be involved as a mentor in this program, what kind of things would be expected of me? I'm paired with a kid
Right.
who fits with me, what am I expected to do? What kind of activities are kind of the things that go with the mentorship program and
Sure.
that sort of thing?
Sure. So you're expected to meet at least a couple times a month with them, 4 hours a month, 2 hours each time, which a lot of families just decide maybe Wednesday's our day or maybe whatever. They kind of tailor it to how they need. But doing activities that you both enjoy. It doesn't have to be varied activities. Some people just like to do the same thing every week, which is fine. But just being there and intentionally being with a child and just being there to listen and offer support and
Sure.
kind of share what you've learned about life.
Very cool.
Kind of thing. So
Very
it's really not very hard. You don't really need any special skills. You need a willingness to want to be with a child and mentor a child and be a positive influence, of course.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's pretty flexible.
Yes, it's
As
flexible.
far as times.
Yes.
And when you are a volunteer, do you report? How do we
Yes.
report back to you about what's going on? Or what kind of
Yes.
communication do we have with you?
Yes, so once a month I need to talk to you either through phone or email or text. Phone, you get the best interaction and the best information. I grew up in the 80s, so used to talking on the phone, right? So, yeah. So
And how about right now in Bismarck? How many people do you have involved in this?
there's currently 50 matches, but we have about 25 kids that are still needing that help and support. And so we're trying to, continually do outreach and find people that are interested. And we want to focus on the fact that it's easier than you think. And also it's going to enrich the volunteer's life more than they can imagine. Watching a child succeed and maybe going from C's and D's in school to A's and B's with your help and support. Maybe talking to their family more about what's going on, just better communication. Maybe having that improved confidence where they just seem to be shining a little bit brighter than they were in the past.
Sure.
Those are the kind of little moments that we get really excited about.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna maybe go off script a
Yeah,
little bit.
absolutely.
And just out of curiosity, on this podcast, typically we kind of dive into a little more personal aspect and relational aspect of the people that we interview. And feel free to be as vague or as in-depth as you like.
Okay.
But where does your connection to this program start? And kind of how you got involved originally, what this program has
Sure.
meant to you specifically, and
Sure.
that sort of thing over the years.
Sure. So when I was growing up, I really could have used that help and support. Parents got a divorce, and there really wasn't. there was therapy and different things, but to have that one consistent person in my life would have been very beneficial, I think, and maybe my life would have gone a different direction. But I'm grateful that it went this way because I feel like I have a lot of passion for this program because I understand what it's like to not have anybody in your life and to need that.
Sure.
I guess so. That's
Where-
where I find the passion.
Where'd you get started with Big Brother, Big Sister, and how it's become now with the program?
So I went to school to be a child psychologist, and I realized that eight years of school seemed a little. I didn't really have the money. It was
Sure.
like I want to help people, but I don't. So social work was a good fit for me, realizing that you can help a lot of different populations. You can help children. You can help children to elderly to DD population. There's lots of different options, and so that was a good fit for me. And I just ended up getting this job on a fluke. It started at 10 hours a week, and so I had another job at the time and kind of kept building it and we built it up to 40 hours a week through the help of individual donors and businesses and sponsors and
That's
grants
amazing.
and
Very
things.
cool.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been
Very
great.
cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Good to hear.
Yeah.
So we, as a church congregation, are always looking to give, and we were able to gift some
Yes.
tithing to you
Yes.
a couple months ago.
Yes,
I believe.
I think it was May. Uh-huh.
And we don't just want to tithe financially. We'd like to tithe our time as well. So what could our congregation members and people listening out there in Bismarck do to be involved? How exactly do they get in touch, and what process do they go through? Is there
Sure.
background checks? Is there,
Yes.
you said, a little interview with you? Give us some
Yes.
information on step-by-step process.
Yes, so there's an application, and so we ask for 4 references. There's background checks. There's a child abuse and neglect check, which hopefully everybody passes. Background check. We work with Data Source, which is a national criminal database that goes through all the 50 states and makes sure there aren't any things that we need to be concerned about. References, also the interview. It's not a very lengthy application. And then we just go from there. After after we process it and everything, then I interview and then try to match people up as soon as possible. And then that follow up by talking once a month and seeing how things are going. And then if we have tickets to events and things, we
Sure.
had free Larks game tickets last week, and
Oh, that's
try
awesome.
to do
Very cool.
try to do some of those things for people. And the community's been great about, we have a discount to the Y, we have a discount to Gateway to Science Center and to the zoo, different things so people can, it doesn't have to break the bank
Sure.
with them, because we don't give the volunteers a stipend, so it's just kind of what they're willing to spend. And we try to focus on low cost and no cost activities and realize
Sure.
it's really about the quality of the relationship, not
Absolutely.
about how much money you're spending, or, we're trying to build character with the kids.
Sure.
Definitely.
And teach social skills and things like that. And so,
And you've talked a lot about the thing that you said that stood out to me was moving C's and D's or B's and C's to
Yeah.
A's and B's.
yeah.
What kind of development have you seen in the kids in this program, and just how much mentorship means to them
Yeah.
as a part of their development and their growth in their lives, and what is necessary to becoming successful adults?
Right. It's just been huge for some kids. There's some kids that just have maybe mom, and there's 4 or 5 kids in the family. And so without that mentor, they would really get lost in the shuffle. And I don't know, I know you guys are aware that anxiety and depression has been huge among our youth these days. And teaching kids like proper balance with the technology, and trying, not to getting sucked up in it. And I think adults struggle with that as well. But to teach kids some of those things are so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kind of, I think I might be going backwards
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit here,
yeah.
so bear with me here.
Yeah.
But
No problem.
as far as the kiddos go coming to you, how do families get the children connected with you?
Good
What does
question.
that
Right.
route look like?
Right. So the Human Service Center knows about us, as well as school counselors, school social workers. Sometimes I'm seeing 2-3 generations. I've been doing this a long
okay.
time, and
Yeah.
so you see, a family from the past, and the grandparent is now raising the grandchild, and they need the help and support that we provided the generation before, and so, yeah, that's kind of how.
So a
some
lot of
that
times
goes.
it's coming from another community outreach, almost
Yes.
recommending the family
Yes.
to come your direction.
Right. Yes, for
Mhm.
sure. For
That's
sure.
amazing.
Very
Ah,
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. You had brought some paperwork. Was
Yes.
there anything you
Yes.
wanted to
Yes.
share with us?
Well, you were saying, how can we help? And so I was just
Yeah.
thinking of other ways that other agencies have helped. So at one point, we had Gate City Bank donate Shields gift cards to us, like in August. So each family got a $100 gift card to
Okay.
spend at Shields, which was just
Wow,
amazing.
that's
to buy,
incredible.
Yeah, to buy back to school stuff and things. So that was really cool. And other ways to give back, we do have a drive to donate coming up on July 9th. So
Okay.
at each of the 3 locations for Valvoline, $20 from each oil change will go to Mentor Squad, which
Very
is
cool.
going to be very nice.
Very
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a great story along with that. So we have a mentor who, he was 80 years old when he was matched, which you can believe that, but super youthful and has all kinds of good life experience and skills to share. So he's very handy. So first of all, they found a used car and fixed it up, and took the child to the DMV to get the paperwork for his permit.
Oh, amazing.
Took him driving, yeah, and found this used car, fixed it all up, but also taught him all these mechanic skills over the course of doing this, enough for him to get his part-time dream job at Valvoline. So one of our mentees now works there, and he just loves it, and
Oh,
he
that's
credits
special.
his success, to his mentor. So also, you're never too old. Maybe your kids are grown, and whoever's listening, and you have some time to spare, and want to teach
Sure.
kids about what you do with your life, whatever. I
So
talked to some
all
people
ages.
after your
Yes.
congregation, and they said, well, what do I do with them? I'm like, well, what are your interests? We don't
Sure.
have to, we're not developing a whole new personality with you. We're doing things that you already like to do.
Well, and it reminds me. So our Dare to Care program
Yep.
that Amy's in charge of, basically how we get people connected to each other within the church is very similar.
Okay.
It's
It is.
adapted
Yeah.
interests. It's filling out a survey. Hey, what kind of things do you like to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And meeting people together. And
Yeah,
to
there you
us,
go.
or at least to me, it feels very much like a community continuation of what we're trying to do here within our own
church,
congregation.
yeah.
Sure.
And reaching out to those who need
Right.
mentorship and need that community and relationship outside the church, which is really, really cool to see.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you
Yes.
for everything you do.
Oh,
I come from a family of social workers, and
Oh, do
my
you?
my neighbor growing up was involved with Big Brother and just
great.
was always active and always bringing kids over and seeing
Nice.
how active they were and how changed they could be in 5 months time, 5 years time. It was really cool to see. So
Yeah, absolutely.
And I
Absolutely.
think just the connections of the people you
Yes.
brought to church on Sunday and
Yeah.
seeing the years they've spent
Yes.
together.
Yes.
That's just amazing to me.
I know.
Just incredible.
So
So
valuable.
your
right?
service definitely makes a
Thank-
difference out there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
absolutely. We
And-
very much appreciate it.
Absolutely. And then I just want to make sure people know too from our church that Lydia at the Welcome Center will have more information for the next couple of weeks. So if they have questions on how to get involved, they can
Okay.
still swing by and talk to Lydia about that. And
Yeah.
we'll make sure that we get her contact information
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
and we can maybe
Reach out
Sure.
through us and then to you, and,
Yeah,
and
sure.
it's a program that we're very happy to support here. So
Yeah,
thank
that's
you
just
for
great.
thank you for everything you do in the community, and we're very happy to support you guys and your mission.
Well,
So,
thank you for the generous donation. It's amazing what you're able to do for nonprofits in the community.
thank
That's
you.
a huge, huge.
it means a lot to us here, so
Oh,
we're
it
happy to
does.
give
You
back.
should be very proud of that.
Thank you.
That's
It's an
very,
exciting
very
time to get
awesome.
those-
Absolutely.
tithing out.
And one more thing, just
Yes,
aside from
absolutely.
aside from the relationships are made during the program, we see a lot of people keep in touch with me and let me know that they are now kind of lifelong friends and still support each other. So years ago, we had a little brother be the best man at his big brother's wedding, which was just so heartfelt and amazing. He didn't really have a relationship with his dad, and so that was really great. And then I got a picture, an email last week from a little brother who helped his big brother after the storm cleanup.
Sure.
So they're not matching the program anymore, but they keep in touch and help each other
Very
out
cool.
now.
And isn't
so
that special? Just
Isn't
those
it?
success stories.
it is
in
so
how-
special. And now as adults, they
Yes.
they talk about like maybe you should have a retirement plan, or I'll help you get a
Yes.
first time home loan, or those kinds of things. And the mentors feel so good about it. I ran into a current mentor out at Bistro the other day, and he started tearing up thinking about this 17-year-old wanting to spend time with him. And he said, it just fills my heart so much and makes me feel useful and purposeful. And that's what we're trying to do. And so, some of
Absolutely.
those elderly individuals that are maybe feeling lonely, like we can utilize you if you like kids. I'll find a family that will work well with you,
Absolutely.
And then the best matches are the families that grow together and are just like family.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Mentorship
Yeah.
turned to family.
Yeah, right? Yep, that's kind of how it works.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Well, Ty, do you want to pray us out or would you like me to?
Ooh, I was gonna ask you, but you beat me to it. So if you're driving, feel free to keep your eyes on the road. But otherwise, if you're listening, if you wouldn't mind bowing your heads. Father, thank you so much for everything that you're doing in this community and everything you're doing with this program. Just continue to bless the people involved. Continue to bless the program itself and bless the mentors and the mentees and help them to grow, not just with each other and in their own lives, but hopefully toward a relationship with you and hope in the world that you've created and hope in the world that is yet to come. Thank you so much for the hope that you provide this community, the generosity that you have filled our hearts with and filled the hearts with for these people in this program. We continue to pray that you bless them in everything that they do. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Where can they reach you?
They can call me on the phone if they
Yeah.
would like, 222-0797. I can answer any questions they might have, or they can find our application on our website, which is www.bismanmentorsquad.com.
Perfect.
Excellent. All right, Inspire family. Let's get out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Deanna, so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank you
being
so
here,
much.
Amy, and we'll see you guys next Thursday.